Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Whiteboard Wednesdays. And today we're going to do something different. We're going to look at some articles around artificial intelligence, data centers, and what's happening out in the industry. And, just share what we found and just my thoughts on some of it, just to see where are things going. So I've found the article, you may have heard, it was published on October 15. An announcement was made about OpenAI and Oracle's joint investment. And the headline says, OpenAI and Oracle to deploy 450,000 GB200 GPUs at the Stargate data center in Abilene, Texas. 500,000 GPUs. That is a huge amount. And the idea here is that they're going to be rolling this out over a 5-year period. But cost-wise, that's a $300 billion project that will roll out over a 5-year period. And I mean, they're basically saying that by the first phase, 65,000 of these GPUs will already be at this facility by the end of 2026, right? So that is a mammoth amount of compute power. And we have to kind of think about, that this is 10 gigawatts of hardware that Nvidia is going to be supplying, to these organizations and with this whole area. And Nvidia is actually investing 100 billion into OpenAI. So you have to kind of start asking the question, where is the revenue coming from for the demand for these, this level of investment over the next 5 years? What is it going to look like, right? Because you're sitting with a massive investment of 300 billion. Nvidia is the supplier, but they're also making an investment into OpenAI. Oracle is basically, putting this infrastructure together. And for me, the question is, is this a bit of a bubble forming in the AI market? What are we seeing, in the short term? And at these powers, there's definitely some race for supremacy when it comes to AI dominance, or at least, being able to put this infrastructure down. And it'll be interesting to see how these projects roll out, and can these organizations execute against, the statements that they're making. So I think we're in for a very, very interesting 18 months. OpenAI has just launched their agent kit, which is now the new kid on the block. And this is just shortly after the German startup N8N has secured another $180 million worth of funding, getting their valuation up to 2.5 billion. And it feels like last month they were the new kids on the block, right, in terms of making headlines and what's happening. So very quickly, things are being displaced. There's new technology coming out, new platforms, and this race is on. It's very interesting to watch the market and see what the maneuvers are between Oracle, Microsoft, OpenAI, Nvidia, and how that is going to be playing out and how it will affect the rest of the world in terms of, at least from the Western side, of how those technologies will be adopted. So interesting articles. If you have some comments or thoughts on this, and what the impact would be on the South African context, thinking, around the size and the scale that we have to deal with, I would be interested to hear what you have to say about this. So please reach out to us, leave 1 or 2 comments there in the comment section, and it'll be good to share some thoughts. Thank you very much.